I am not taking my heels off. I want to thank the Association for organising today's rally, and I want to thank everyone and congratulate and commend everybody here for coming along today to hear your voices. I went into politics 4 years ago, and one of the things that I have learned is that the men and women who work in that building, who are privileged enough to be elected to work in that building, listen very, very carefully to what happens on this street. You can have as many social media campaigns as you want, you can have as many petitions as you want, but what the men and women who work in there really pay attention to is the number of people who can be gathered together around the country, and in particular on this street in front of those gates. So well done on being here today. And I want to say a personal thank you. I have 3 young children, the oldest of whom turned 6 today, so we had birthday pancakes. So I, as a father, as a parent of 3 young children, I'm very aware of the work that's done. So I personally want to say to every single one of you, thank you. Thank you for the work you do. Thank you for the care that you give our children. Thank you for the hours you put in and the dedication you show to your profession. Several years ago, I was doing a piece of work in London. We were helping figure out how to get philanthropic money to disadvantaged parts of London to help literacy. And initially we thought, well, let's see if we can fund experts coming into the primary schools to read to the kids, to help the parents. And we met up with literacy experts, and they said, if you're starting a primary school, you're too late. They said, if you want to help children who have learning support requirements, children in disadvantaged areas, children in disadvantaged families, if you leave it until primary school to get to them, you are 2 years too late. There's a growing body of evidence which you're all aware of, and which people who've spoken before me know infinitely better than I do. There's a growing body of evidence that one of the most effective educational investments a government and a nation can provide is in preschool, early stage education. That's what we need, and that's what we must demand now. Just a few months ago, ECI providers in Wicklow came to talk to me about their business and their challenges and what they want to see. And we worked through the numbers, we worked through the finances, we worked through the wages and the conditions that their staff had to work in, and the conditions that the owners of the ECI establishments, the ECI providers, had to go through. And really it's quite shocking, because childcare workers, childcare providers are being asked to engage in private enterprise. The vast majority of childcare provision are meant to be private businesses, though they're not really. Because the men and women in that building say, well, we are a monopoly provider of those things, but we're not going to pay you enough money. We're going to pay you just enough that you're not going to say no to the ECI children, but we're not going to pay you enough that you can make a decent living. We're not going to pay you enough that you can pay your staff what they should be paid. We're not going to support continuous professional development for your staff. They say, we care, but not really. Right? Childcare providers all over the country are being asked to operate a private business that just isn't workable. It's underfinanced, it's overly bureaucratic, it needs to change, and it can change. So what do we need? What do we want for Ireland? What do we want for this sector? What do we want for our children? We want an early years education system that is recognised as one of the best in the world. We want it to be accessible for parents and children. We want it to be affordable. We want it to be within communities. We want it to be in every county, every constituency around the country. And we want it to be consistently high quality. So what do we need to do? Right now, as has been said previously, Ireland invests less than 0.2% of our GDP in this sector. In Finland, which is recognised as one of the best and what we need to be aspiring to, it's 1%. What does that mean? That means for every euro the state invests in Ireland, the Finnish government invests 5. Now think about that. We have an aspiration to be one of the best in the world. But right now, for every €1 we invest, the best in the world invests 5. We will never achieve the best in the world until we start taking this seriously. So we need investment. We need support for continuous professional development to degree level, to honours degree level, to master's level, to PhD level. I believe that early education, getting an early education right, treating it seriously, and aspiring to have one of the best sectors on earth is one of the most beneficial things we can do in this country in terms of social impact, in terms of economic impact. And all of that starts with taking all of you seriously. So Catherine, Zappone and myself, this morning we were working through what we're going to do. We are going to work with a lot of different stakeholders, hopefully a lot of you here today. We are going to try and put a plan together. Because aspiration is important and intent is important, but you've got to have a plan. So bear with us. We will be working with hopefully a lot of people here, and we will be helping put a plan together that gets us from here to achieving one of the best systems on the planet. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, and thank you for so much sense.